build our home with bleeding hands. Laid each brick with love and plans. You were my light, my reason why. Now I just talk to an empty sky. I'm still waiting at the door where your laughter lived before. Every night I whisper low, come back home, don't let me go. But silence is all I know. You wore your cap, I fixed your tie, watch you chase your dreams and fly. I gave you wings, I stayed behind. But now you're gone, and so is time. I'm still waiting at the door where your footsteps touch the floor. Even pain begins to fade, but the love, it always stays. Still alone, still afraid. I don't need much, just one more day to hear you call, to hear you say that I remember who you are. But wishes don't go that far, so I sing here on this stage, old and tired, full of ache. Not for gold, not for fame, just to call out your name. Still waiting, still the same. I'm still setting 2 plates on the kitchen wood, talking to your chair like a person should. The neighbors whisper when they see me in the yard, tending to the roses that the frost has scarred. They say the mind is a house with 1,000 locks, but I'm still living in the echoes and the shocks. I'm wearing your perfume just to feel the sting, because I'd rather be haunted than feel anything. I went to the station where you caught the train, and I stood for 5 hours in the freezing rain. I told the conductor that you'd be back soon, and he looked at me like I was howling at the moon. I got a scrapbook of the shadows on the floor, and a collection of the hellos you don't say anymore. If this is losing my grip, then I'm letting go fast, building a future out of nothing but the past. And they call it a crazy love, a fever in the bone, the kind that leaves you standing in the dark alone. I'm losing my edges, I'm blurring the lines, ignoring the sirens and the warning signs. If I'm out of my mind, it's a beautiful feel whole. Tell me I'm trapped, tell me I'm blind, tell me I've left the real world behind. I don't want the truth, I don't want the same. If sane means a life without your name, I'll build a cathedral out of what could have been, and I'll worship the ghost beneath your skin. Lock the doors, throw away the key. This crazy love is all that's left of me. Staying crazy for you. The storm has finally run out of breath, leaving a silence as heavy as death. The gutters are gasping, the streets are all black, and I'm looking for footprints that never came back. The clouds are all tearing like a worn-out sheet, revealing a sky that feels bitter and sweet. I'm standing on the porch where we used to hide before the weather changed and you went inside. There's a smell of wet earth and of iron and stone, the kind of a scent that you only face alone. I remember your laughter like a bell in the dark, before the lightning came to leave its mark. Now the garden is drowned and the roses are bent, like every I love you and every cent we spent. I'm shaking the water from the sleeves of my coat, writing a letter that I'll never mail, a ghost of a note. And they say that the air is clearer after the rain, but they don't tell you how much you can see of the pain. The puddles are mirrors reflecting the blue, but they only show the version of me that's missing you. The world is all glistening, washed out and new, but I'm still stuck in the storm we went through. It's a beautiful morning, a terrible view, searching for a rainbow after the rain with you. birds are coming back to the dripping ears, shaking the diamonds off the maple leaves. They're singing like nothing ever went wrong, like the heart is in a place where the shadows belong. But I see the branch that snapped in the gale, and I see the garden where the blossoms fell pale. The sun is a witness, cold and bright, to the wreckage we left in the middle of the night. Where is the mercy in the afterglow? Where is the healing we were promised to know? The sky is clearing, but the ground is a swamp. I'm trying to walk, but I can only stomp. Wash it away, just take it all. The rise and the ruin, the summer and the fall. I don't want the clarity, I don't want the light. I'd rather be back in the middle of the fight. Give me the thunder, give me the gray, anything but this empty, beautiful day. Yeah, they say that the air is clearer after the rain, but I'm still drowning in the quiet remains. The world is glistening, washed out and new, but I'm still stuck in the storm. I'm still waiting for the sun to bring me back to you. After the rain, after the rain. The porch light is flickering, a tired white eye, watching the ghosts of the cars passing by. I've left the door unlocked, just a crack for the wind, to let in the mercy where the shadows begin. I've kept your favorite wine on the counter for years, a vintage of waiting, fermented in tears. I've practiced my greeting, I've polished the floor, like 22 leases, hasn't happened at all. The house is a museum of the things you left behind. The echoes of always are making me blind. I see your silhouette in the steam of the sink. I'm closer to the edge than you'd probably think. I wonder if you're driving through the 3 a.m. gray, turning the wheel to head back my way. Would you recognize the person I've turned into now? Or would the silence be too heavy to allow? Oh, if you came back tonight, would the world start to turn? Would the ice in my marrow start to flicker and burn? we pick up the pieces of the bridge that we broke? Or would we just drown in the fire and the smoke? I'm a prisoner of hope, I'm a slave to the end, standing on the edge of a jagged black cliff. It's a beautiful terror, it's a terrifying life. Thinking of what I'd say if you came back tonight. I'd tell you about the nights I couldn't find my own name, about the way the seasons forgot how to play the game. I'd show you the scars that the silence left deep, and the promises to never that I couldn't quite keep. I'd ask if you found what you were looking for out there, in the hollow of the distance and the cold empty air. But mostly I just listen to the sound of your breath, a temporary victory over this living death. Would you stay, or would you just say goodbye? One final lightning bolt across my dark sky. I'm screaming at the driveway, I'm pleading with the moon. Don't tell me that the morning is coming so soon. I'd forgive it all, I'd forget the pain, just to see your shadow in the pouring rain. It's a long way down, it's a cold way home, when you're built of maybe and you're made of stone. If you came back tonight, would the world start to turn? Or would I just find out that I'm meant to burn? I'm a prisoner of hope, still holding on tight to the ghost of the version of you coming back tonight. The porch light is dying, the rain's turning cold, and I'm just getting so tired of being bold. The door is still open, but the hallway is dark. I'm still waiting. The shadows are long on the edge of the lawn, and the silver is heavy where the color is gone. I'm standing out here in the shivering tall grass, watching the ghosts of our memories pass. The porch light is flickering, a dying heartbeat, while the frost starts to settle like a cold white sheet. I'm looking for something I know I won't find, leaving the warmth of the hallway behind. You used to say the craters were the eyes of the night, watching us move in the pale borrowed light. But tonight the sky is a hollowed out dome, and I'm a stranger standing in front of my home. The swing on the oak tree is catching the breeze, creaking a rhythm through the skeleton trees. I'm waiting for a whisper, I'm waiting for a sign that your hand is still reaching to tangle in mine. And I'm just standing here under the moon, singing a desperate and out of date tune. The world is asleep, but I'm wide awake, counting the pieces of the heart that you break. The stars are all silent, the wind is a thief. I'm bathing in silver, I'm drowning in grief. It's a beautiful night to be lonely and blue, howling at heaven under the moon without you. The moon is a mirror, cold and unkind, reflecting the pieces I left far behind. It doesn't care about the plans that we made, or the way that the light starts to flicker and fade. I'm tracing your name in the dew on the glass, watching the minutes and the hours all pass. I'm a wolf with no pack, I'm a ship with no sea, searching for the version of you that loved me. Is it bright where you are? Does it burn? Does it sting? Does the silence of the night make your eardrums ring? I'm screaming at the craters, I'm pleading with the dark, searching for a fire in a cold dead spark. The moon is just a rock, the sky is just a void, and I'm just a man who is being destroyed. Don't leave me in the silver, don't leave me in the cold. I'm losing my grip on the only thing I hold. beautiful night, it's a terrible view. Under the moon without you. Under the moon. I'm standing at the station where the tracks have turned to rust, watching all our Sundays settle in the dust. You were a fire in the winter, a lighthouse in the gale, but I was just a ghost, too terrified to fail. I kept my words in pockets, I kept my heart in chains, while you were pouring out like warm July rains. I watched you give your everything until your well ran dry, and now I'm finally waking up to say goodbye. I see you in the city with a new light in your soul, a version of a person that I couldn't make whole. You're leaning on a shoulder that isn't made of stone, in a garden of a life that you planted all alone. It's January 22 DC, and the world is turning gold, but I'm still shivering in the secrets never told. I finally have the courage, I finally have the key, but the door has been boarded up by the ghost of me. Oh, I loved you too late, I loved you too slow. I'm holding on to ashes of a fire I let go. The words are in my mouth, but the audience is gone. I'm singing to the shadows in the cold grey dawn. I finally found the always, I finally found the how, but forever is a country where I'm not allowed now. A beautiful disaster, a tragic twist of fate. God, I loved you, I loved you too late. Find your old letters in the back of the drawer. Each I love you is a bullet, each day is a war. I remember the night you looked at me and cried, asking for a reason to keep the light inside. I gave you a shrug, I gave you a wall, not knowing that I'd be the one to eventually fall. Now I'm reading the ending before I've begun, staring at the damage that my silence has done. Come back and hear it, come back and see I finally become the man you wanted me to be. I'm screaming at the wind, I'm pleading with the rain, trying to find a way to reverse the pain. I trade every tomorrow, I trade every breath to save this love from this quiet are in my heart, but the audience is gone. I'm just a shadow in the cold gray dawn. One last I'm sorry, one last I wait. I loved you too late. The train has left. The light is out. I'm finally ready, but you're not here. The shadows are long on the kitchen floor. I'm still leaning my head against the wood of the door. I watch the snow turn to 2020 seas rain. A cold gray mirror of this localized pain. I wonder if you're sitting in the glow of a different light, or if you're staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night. Do you see my face when you close your tired eyes? Or am I just a ghost in your clear blue skies? I walk past the bench where we carved our names. Now it's just wood and the ashes of games. I saw a stranger with a wall just like yours, and for a heartbeat I forgot about the locked doors. I almost reached out, I almost called your name, but the silence reminded me that nothing's the same. Do you have a new routine? Do you have a new street? Or is there a space in your heart that's still incomplete? And I wonder, do you miss me too? Like the earth misses the sun when the day is through. Is your heart a heavy stone? Is your soul a quiet room? Are you living in the beauty or the shadow of the gloom? I'm a prisoner of words, I'm a martyr for them, hoping for a world where I can see you again. The question is a fire that I can't quite subdue. Do you miss me? Do you miss me too? I saw a photo of you from a week ago. You look like a person I used to know. There was a light in your smile that I didn't recognize. Different kind of happy living in your eyes. Was I just a chapter you were meant to read? A temporary harvest or a scattered seed? But then I saw you touch the scar that I gave you, and I wonder if the memory was enough to save you. Are you screaming at the stars? Are you pleading with the moon? Does the silence in your hallway feel like it's ending too soon? I'm drowning in the maybe, I'm dying in the quiet of the morning when the sky is blue? Is your heart a heavy stone? Is your soul a quiet room? Are you living in the beauty or the shadow of the gloom? The question is a fire I can't quite subdue. Do you miss me? Did I miss you? I'm still here, ask in the dark, waiting for the echo. The shadows are long on the edge of the lawn, and the silver is heavy where the color is gone. I'm standing out here in the shivering tall grass, watching the ghosts of our memories pass. The porch light is flickering a dying heartbeat, while the frost starts to settle like a cold white sheet. I'm looking for something I know I won't find, leaving the warmth of the hallway behind. You used to say the craters were the eyes of the night, watching us move in the pale borrowed light. But tonight the sky is a hollowed out dome, and I'm a stranger standing in front of my home. The swing on the oak tree is catching the breeze, creaking a rhythm through the skeleton trees. I'm waiting for a whisper, I'm waiting for a sign that your hand is still reaching to tangle in mine. And I'm just standing here under the moon, singing a desperate and out-of-date tune. The world is asleep, but I'm wide awake, counting the pieces of the heart that you break. And the stars are all silent, the wind is a thief. I'm bathing in silver, I'm drowning in grief. It's a beautiful night to be lonely and blue, howling heaven under the moon without you. Cold and unkind, reflecting the pieces I left far behind. It doesn't care about the plans that we made, or the way that the light starts to flicker and fade. I'm tracing your name in the dew on the glass, watching the minutes and the hours all pass. I'm a wolf with no pack, I'm a ship with no sea, searching for the version of you that loved me. terrible view. Under the moon, without you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The shadows are long on the edge of the lawn, and the silver is heavy where the color is gone. I'm standing out here in the shivering tall grass, watching the ghosts of our memories pass. The porch light is flickering, a dying heartbeat, while the frost starts to settle like a cold white sheet. I'm looking for something I know I won't find, leaving the warmth of the hallway behind. You used to say the craters were the eyes of the night, watching us move in the pale borrowed light. But tonight the sky is a hollowed out dome, and I'm a stranger standing in front of my home. The swing on the oak tree is catching the breeze, creaking a rhythm through the skeleton trees. I'm waiting for a whisper, I'm waiting for a sign that your hand is still reaching to tangle in mine. And I'm just standing here under the moon, singing a desperate and out-of-date tune. The world is asleep, but I'm wide awake, counting the pieces of the heart that you break. The stars are all silent, the wind is a thief. I'm bathing in silver, I'm drowning in grief. It's a beautiful night to be lonely and blue, howling at heaven under the moon without you. The moon is a mirror, cold and unkind, reflecting the pieces I left far behind. It doesn't care about the plans that we made, or the way that the light starts to flicker and fade. I'm tracing your name in the dew on the glass, watching the minutes and the hours all pass. I'm a wolf with no pack, I'm a ship with no sea, searching for the version of you that loved me. Is it right where you are? Does it burn? Does it sting? Does the silence of the night make your eardrums ring? I'm screaming at the craters, I'm pleading with the dark, searching for a fire and a cold dead spark. The moon is just a rock, the sky is just a void, and I'm just a man who is being destroyed. Don't leave me in the silver, don't leave me in the cold. I'm losing my grip on the only thing I The storm has finally run out of breath, leaving a silence as heavy as death. The gutters are gasping, the streets are all black, and I'm looking for footprints that never came back. The clouds are all tearing like a worn out sheet, revealing a sky that feels bitter and sweet. I'm standing on the porch where we used to hide before the weather changed and you went inside. There's a smell of wet earth and of iron and stone, the kind of a scent that you only face alone. I remember your laughter like a bell in the dark, before the lightning came to leave its mark. Now the garden is drowned and the roses are bent, like every I love you and every cent we spend. I'm shaking the water from the sleeves of my coat, writing a letter that I'll never mail, a ghost of a note. And they say that the air is clearer after the rain, but they don't tell you how much you can see of the pain. The puddles are mirrors reflecting the blue, but they only show the version of me that's missing you. The world is all glistening, washed out and new, but I'm still stuck in the storm we went through. It's a beautiful morning, a terrible view, searching for a rainbow after the rain with you. The birds are coming back to the dripping eaves, shaking the diamonds off the maple leaves. They're singing like nothing ever went wrong, like the heart is in a place where the shadows belong. But I see the branch that snapped in the gale, and I see the garden where the blossom fell pale. The sun is a witness, cold and bright, to the wreckage we left in the middle of the night. Where is the mercy in the afterglow? Where is the ending we were promised to know? The sky is clearing, but the ground is a swamp. I'm trying to walk, but I can only stomp. Wash it away, just take it all. The rise and the ruin, the summer and the fall. I don't want the clarity, I don't want the light. I'd rather be back in the middle of the fight. Give me the thunder, give me the gray, anything but this empty, beautiful day. Stuck in the storm, I'm still waiting for the sun to bring me back to you. There's a map on the table with a coffee stain, right where we planned to outrun the rain. But the borders have shifted and the ink has run dry underneath the weight of a lead-colored sky. I'm standing in the kitchen, you're in the hall, but there's 1,000 miles of nothing between us and the wall. I reach for your hand and I touch only air. It's like looking for a ghost who's forgotten they're there. We're speaking in echoes, we're breathing in static. This love used to be simple, now it's just cinematic. I see your lips moving, I hear the words start, but they get lost in the canyon we carved in our heart. I'm reading the letters you wrote in the spring, trying to remember the pull of the string. But the bridge has been burned and the water is deep, and I'm guarding a secret I can't even keep. And we're lost in the space between me and you, in the no man's land where the dreams fall through. It's a wide open desert, it's a frozen over sea, between the person you were and the ghost of me. We're shouting across the great dark divide, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. The compass is broken, the stars are untrue, and I'm lost in the silence between me and you. I try to build a lighthouse out of old photographs to guide us back home from our separate paths, but the light is too weak and the fog is too thick, and the heart is a clock that has finished its tick. Are you lonely over there? Are you cold on your side? Or are you just happy you finally can hide? I'm looking through a telescope at the back of your head, memorizing the things that we should have just said. Is there a way back? Is there a door? Or are we just shadows on a cold marble floor? The distance is growing, the ground is all shaking. This is the sound of the universe breaking. I can't see your face, I can't hear your name. The space that we created is a wild, hungry flame. It's eating the memories, it's swallowing the years, until there's nothing left but the salt of our tears. Yeah, we're lost in the space between me and you, where the I love yous go when they're no longer true. It's a wide open desert, it's a frozen over sea, between the person you were and the ghost of me. The compass is broken, the stars are all blue, and I'm lost, so lost. Just an inch, but a million miles between us. I'm still setting 2 plates on the kitchen wood, talking to your chair like a person should. The neighbors whisper when they see me in the yard, tending to the roses that the frost has scarred. They say the mind is a house with 1,000 lost, but I'm still living in the echoes and the shock. I'm wearing your perfume just to feel the sting, because I'd rather be haunted than feel anything. I went to the station where you caught the train, and I stood for 5 hours in the freezing rain. I told the conductor that you'd be back soon. He looked at me like I was howling at the moon. I've got a scrapbook of the shadows on the floor, and a collection of the hellos you don't say anymore. If this is losing my grip, then I'm letting go fast, building a future out of nothing but the past. And they call it a crazy love, a fever in the bone, the kind that leaves you standing in the dark alone. I'm losing my edges, I'm blurring the lines, ignoring the sirens and the warning signs. If I'm out of my mind, it's a beautiful view, because in my head I'm still lying next to you. Let the world turn its back, let the bells all ring for this crazy, broken, holy thing. Leave right in the end, the notebook I hide, where the car never started and the stars never lied. In that version we're dancing in a room full of light, and no one ever whispers goodbye in the night. I'm talking to shadows, I'm kissing the air, I'm braided in a memory of your golden hair. It's a madness, I know, it's a glitch in the soul, but it's the only way I can feel whole. Tell me I'm tripped, tell me I'm blind, tell me I've left the real world behind. I don't want the truth, I don't want the sane, if sane means a life without your name. I'll build a cathedral out of what could have been, and I worship the ghost beneath your skin. Lock the doors, throw away the key. This crazy love is all that's left of me. Yeah, they call it a crazy love, a fever in the bone, and I'm perfectly happy sitting here. In my head, it's 2025, and the sun is high, and you're still laughing, and I never have to cry. It's a beautiful view, staying crazy for you. I'm standing at the station where the tracks have turned to rust, watching all our Sundays settle in the dust. You were a fire in the winter, a lighthouse in the gale, but I was just a ghost too terrified to fail. I kept my words in pockets, I kept my heart in chains, while you were pouring out like warm July rains. I watched you give your everything until your well ran dry. And now I'm finally waking up to say goodbye. I see you in the city with a new light in your soul, a version of a person that I couldn't make whole. You're leaning on a shoulder that isn't made of stone, in a garden of a life that you planted all alone. It's January 2026, and the world is turning gold, but I'm still shivering in the secrets never told. I finally have the courage, I finally have the key, but the door has been boarded up by the ghost of me. Oh, I loved you too late, I loved you too slow. I'm holding on to ashes of a fire I let go. The words are in my mouth, but the audience is gone. I'm singing to the shadows in the cold gray dawn. I finally found the always, I finally found the how, but forever is a country where I'm not allowed now. A beautiful disaster, a tragic twist of fate. God, I loved you, I loved you too late. I find your old letters in the back of the drawer. Each I love you is a bullet, each stay is a war. I remember the night you looked at me and cried, asking for a reason to keep the light inside. I gave you a shrug, I gave you a wall, not knowing that I'd be the one to eventually fall. Now I'm reading the ending before I've begun, staring at the damage that my silence has done. Come back and hear it, come back and see. I finally become the man you wanted me to be. I'm screaming at the wind, I'm pleading with the rain, trying to find a way to reverse the pain. I'd trade every tomorrow, I'd trade every breath to save this love from this quiet, sudden death. But the clock is the king, and the king is a thief, and I'm drowning in the rhythm of this overdue grief. Yeah, I loved you too late, I loved you too slow. I'm just a witness to the fire I let go. The words are in my heart, but the audience is gone. I'm just a shadow in the cold gray dawn. One last I'm sorry, one last I wait. I loved you. The porch light is flickering, a tired wide eye, watching the ghost of the cars passing by. I've left the door unlocked, just a crack for the wind, to let in the mercy where the shadows begin. I've kept your favorite wine on the counter for years, a vintage of a waiting, fermented in tears. I've practiced my greeting, I've polished the floor, like 22 December hasn't happened at all. The house is a museum of the things you left behind. The echoes of always are making me blind. I see your silhouette in the steam of the sink. I'm closer to the edge than you'd probably think. I wonder if you're driving through the 3 a.m. gray, turning the wheel to head back my way. Would you recognize the person I've turned into now? Or would the silence be too heavy to allow? Oh, if you came back tonight, would the world start to turn? Would the ice in my marrow start to flicker and burn? Would we pick up the pieces of the bridge that we broke? Or would we just drown in the fire and the smoke? I'm a prisoner of hope, I'm a slave to the if, standing on the edge of a jagged black cliff. It's a beautiful terror, it's a terrifying light, thinking of what I'd say if you came back tonight. Tell you about the nights I couldn't find my own name, about the way the seasons forgot how to play the game. I'd show you the scars that the silence left deep, and the promises to never that I couldn't quite keep. I'd ask if you found what you were looking for out there, in the hollow of the distance and the cold empty air. But mostly I just listen to the sound of your breath, a temporary victory over this living death. Would you swell? Would you just say goodbye? One final lightning bolt across my dark sky. I'm screaming at the driveway, I'm pleading with the moon. Don't tell me that the morning is coming so soon. I'd forgive it all, I'd forget the pain, just to see your shadow in the pouring rain. It's a long way down, it's a cold way home, when you're built of maybe, and you're made of stone. Yeah, if you came back tonight, would the world start to turn? Or would I just find out that I'm meant to burn? I'm a prisoner of hope, still holding on tight to the ghost of the version cold, and I'm just getting so tired of being bold. The door is still open, but the hallway is dark. I'm still waiting. There's a map on the table with a coffee stain, right where we plan to outrun the rain. But the borders have shifted and the ink has run dry underneath the weight of a lead-colored sky. I'm standing in the kitchen, you're in the hall, but there's 1,000 miles of nothing between us and the wall. I reach for your hand and I touch only air. It's like looking for a ghost who's forgotten they're there. We're speaking in echoes, we're breathing in static. This love used to be simple, now it's just cinematic. I see your lips moving, I hear the words start, but they get lost in the canyon we carved in our heart. I'm reading the letters you wrote in the spring, trying to remember the pull of the string, but the bridge has been burned and the water is deep, and I'm guarding a secret I can't even keep. And we're lost in the space between me and you, in the no man's land where the dreams fall through. It's a wide open desert, it's a frozen over sea between the person you were and the ghost of me. We're shouting across the great dark divide, and nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. The compass is broken, the stars are untrue, and lost in the silence between me and you. Try to build a lighthouse out of old photographs to guide us back home from our separate past, but the light is too weak and the fog is too thick, and the heart is a clock that has finished its tick. Are you lonely over there? Are you cold on your side? Or are you just happy you finally can hide? I'm looking through a telescope at the back of your head, memorizing the things that we should have just said. Is there a way back? Is there a door? Or are we just shadows on a cold marble floor? The distance is growing, the ground is all shaking. This is the sound of a universe breaking. I can't see your face, I can't hear your name. The space that we created is a wild, hungry flame. It's eating the memories, it's swallowing the years, until there's nothing left but the salt of our tears. Where we're lost in the space between me and you. Where the I love yous go